Have you ever watched people fish? They usually sit very still and wait. Peter had been sitting in his boat all night and he hadn't caught a thing. When Jesus told him to try again, he caught many fish. This is how it may have happened. A cool night breeze blew over the water of Lake Gennesaret. Simon Peter was fishing with his partners, James and John. He tossed his big fishing net over the water, and he heard a swishing sound and a splat as he fell. Slowly, it sank beneath the surface of the water. Peter checked the moon and stars to tell the time. Soon the sun would be rising, and still he hadn't caught a single fish. James and John, in their own boat, weren't catching any fish either. In a few minutes, Peter began to haul in the net hand over hand. He hoped to see the glimmer of fish in the moonlight, but there was nothing. He piled the dripping net into the back of the boat, and he began to pull on the oars and head back to shore. The sky began to change from black to pink. Peter laid out his net and began to clean it. Jesus was standing on the shore, surrounded by a crowd of people. He was telling them how much God loved them, and people really wanted to hear. They crowded so close to Jesus that he stepped into Peter's boat and continued to talk to the people. Peter, no doubt, was happy to share his boat with Jesus. After finished speaking to the people, Jesus said to Peter, "Take your boat out into the deep water and let down your nets." "Oh, Master," Peter replied, "I've been on this lake for all night long with James and John, and we didn't catch one fish." He paused and thought for a minute. "But if you say so, I'll try again." With a swishing sound, the net flew up to the air and it landed with a splat on the water. And then it sank silently. In a few minutes, Peter pulled in the net and he couldn't believe it. The net was so full of glimmering, thriving fish. It's so full that the net almost broke. Peter called to James and John, "Bring your boat and help me." Soon the floors of both boats were covered with silvery fish. Piles of fish reached up the sides of the boats and threatened to sink them. When Peter saw all the fish, he knelt down to Jesus and said, "Leave me, I'm a sinful man." But Jesus said, "Don't be afraid. Follow me. I'll make you a fisher of men." Peter, James, and John dragged their loaded boats up onto the sand and left them there. They turned away from the biggest catch of their lives and left all behind to follow Jesus. They would serve him as long as they lived, and the people would learn of Jesus because of their work. They were truly fishers of men.